Hello. It says I am live on YouTube. It is 9:18, so I'm a couple minutes late, but I was just setting up with my StreamYard so that I can invite someone. So I think Kelly's going to come and visit me here if I can figure out how to invite her on my while I'm live right now. So we'll see if my computer can handle this. And so yeah, so how is everyone today? I don't know. I'm trying to, here we go. Awesome. So I can send, so if Kelly, you can put that on to the YouTubers group if you want. If anybody else on the YouTubers group wants to come and see me. Hello, everyone. So today I am going to talk about my VIPKID classes first. And hello, Stephanie. Thank you for coming. My classes went pretty good this week. My bookings are fine so far. Hello, Laura. I don't know how you guys are doing. I know that a lot of people are reporting lower bookings, but so far mine are okay. I have the same amount that I usually do. I do 5 or 6 every day of the week, and then I do 3 or 4 Friday night, 3 or 4 Saturday as well. Kelly, I just sent you a message so you can go ahead and join on to the group if you would like to. This is very interesting. So I also have Cam Twist here. So I have, good morning. Oh, hello, Danny. Danny says a day off today, about to head out to the garden before it's too hot, listening to see how you're doing. I'm doing okay. My garden is not that great. I do need to do you an update on that. I did buy some flowers, so I've got some flowers that are growing. I'm working on my pool. I had a huge rip, and I was thinking about getting a new liner, but getting a new liner for a pool is really, really hard. So I decided to just patch it up. So hopefully that will be okay for one more year to just patch it up. And it's not really because of the expense necessarily, but more because it's really hard to replace a liner on a pool, and ours is a small pool. So I have to continue to work on fixing the liner. Hopefully, like last year, it took me the entire summer to get my pool up and running. So hopefully it won't take that long. Stephanie, I certified for 10 supplementals yesterday, so I hope it helps bookings. Okay, excellent. So yeah, so mine are about normal. I had a few less like at the frenzy, so I was a little nervous, but then they seemed to fill in during the week. So I got some to fill in during the week, so that was really good. But I wanted to share with you, I have one student that I've talked about that's on WeChat. He's a level 7. I started him with a LP, and the LP was asking me if I was certified for Knowledge Up. I didn't even know what Knowledge Up was, honestly. So I went ahead and I'm like, oh, sure, I can get certified for Knowledge Up. So I went to the certification. I'm in bed, and I didn't have a class yet. So I went ahead, went to the certification page and read through everything. And this was the first quiz I've ever taken and passed on the first time. So that was encouraging. So I got Knowledge Up, and then I realized my level 7 student canceled his classes and then rebooked with Knowledge Up. So Knowledge Up looks like it's more, the next one is like health and fitness. So maybe it's more like something he's interested in, more like a science type of thing. It's just like level 7. It's the same amount of time. He had a speech coming up, so I don't know if he was stressing about the speech and wanted to switch it. But this one also has a what do you call it? A speech. Flowers make us happy. Oh yeah, rip in the pool. I use waterproof Gorilla Glue tape. That's cool. That's a good idea. I had some patching material and some special glue that I've used for smaller patches, and I patched it up and it seems to be okay, but I want to double patch it because if I put all the water in it, I don't want it to burst, you know? So I think it'll be okay because my kids are older and I have a lot of little patches, but this is a big patch. But I'm hoping it'll work out better and it'll just save me time and effort and all of that. Maybe next year we'll go ahead and do the lining, but it is a lot of work. You have to make sure you have like a lot of people helping. So making pancakes for my boy while listening. Awesome, Gwen. So my level 7, I love this boy. I've taught a lot of classes. I'm basically his only teacher. I love the I love that, like, knowing he's my kid. He likes me, I like him, and I love that. But I also had the most amazing level 7 student today. She was so cute. She was one of those students that all the bad classes are worth having a student like this. She was level 7. She could speak so well. And it was just such a fun class. She could do anything. And the pacing was good. And, you know, sometimes I had to kind of slow down and talk about things because I didn't want to get to the end and have a whole bunch of time at the end. But I did ask her shamelessly. I asked her, how do you get bookings? Like, I would really like to see you again. So I don't know. I hope I see her again. Level 7 is hard to book. I do have openings. I'll have to open up today for next week. I have to be careful because I usually copy all the class slots from last time, but then I have to close my level 7 student to make sure that nobody else books those slots. And I work that out with the LP. But that's only one student I do that with. And I'm glad that we can do that. But the other ones, the level 7s, they have to kind of find their spot. Thanks for the encouragement to get the certifications. I didn't know Knowledge Up was a 7. Yeah, I didn't either. I had some certifications that I just said, I'm not going to do it. I have plenty going on. But yeah, but I just really, I like how that's working out. So also, I do have level 8, but I've never been booked with a level 8 person yet. And I have not done my TEFL yet. I did start it, but I didn't really have time to get into it and get it all done. I think I will do the TEFL for VIPKID, and then if I need to, I will pay the money to have it transferable. But also, I don't understand about the 15-day for Apple thing, because that's what made me nervous about if I sign up and I don't get the 4 Apple or the 5 Apple reviews in enough time, then I can't get the certificate. I don't know. I didn't really understand how that went. So that was one thing when I read it, I thought, I don't know if I should do this because what if I don't get the Apple reviews? And Micah did a video and he is hearing from a lot of people that they are not getting 5 Apple parent feedback or any feedback at all from parents. So I guess that's a thing right now, that parents, maybe they change the portal and they don't know where to add the 5 Apple feedback. So he made a video about it, so you can check that out. And he wants to, like, be it known that we aren't getting our Apple feedback, and how do we tell the parents to do it? I'll let you know about the 15-day thing. I finished mine May 23rd. Oh, good. So I wondered if it meant, like Teacher Casey said, after 15 days, if you haven't gotten any feedback, they assume that it's 4 to 5 apples that you're fine. So maybe you just have to wait the 15 days. I don't know. So, yeah. So I haven't really been getting much feedback either. I did get from my one level 7 student, they usually give me 5 apples every time, and I did get some from them, but that's it. You know, mine is way down. And I got enough for the raise. I did get the raise the last time. But and now I'm not worried about it, but then I'm like, what if the parents can see your 5 apple reviews? In 15 days, I only have 5 feedback. Wow. I think they said you needed, oh, you needed 10, right? 10 within 15 days. That's just crazy. So I don't know. So yeah, he made the video and he wasn't happy and he was just making it so that everybody knows that it's happening to everyone. It is a thing, evidently. Okay, so I wanted to also share with you, anyone know how many points the 2 TESOLs on VIPKID based in? As in hours, is it 60 each to make 120? I don't know anything about points. I have no idea. I don't know anything about points and how that works. So as far as my outschool update, so my email came back and I did not get the job. So I was really kind of bummed out. But it was okay because I'm like, you know, I'm busy. I have plenty to do. It's just more like embarrassing than anything else. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and um, maybe Danny, they're talking about Go-Go Kid. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I am communication with Paige because I used her for my referral, and she gave me some tips on like revising my application. My application, I just made it very simple and I didn't add a lot of embellishments. So this time I'm just kind of adding some things, making it a little more complete with the application words itself. And then my first video is on YouTube. So that video did not make it. So, but they don't tell you anything in the email. So for those of you who passed and you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to like deal with the stress of being very, you know, sad. I'll read you the email. So it says, thank you for your interest in teaching on OutSchool. Every week, many teachers apply to OutSchool, and we are only able to work with some. When choosing which teachers to bring onto the platform, we consider a range of factors, including teaching experience, the quality of the written application, and the needs of the community. At this time, we are not approving your request to teach on OutSchool. Our team is unable to provide specific feedback about your application, but we suggest using the following tips if you decide to reapply. And so they give you a link to requirements for teaching on OutSchool, guides for a great teacher profile, and video introduction, and our standards for class listings. We wish you well in your teaching endeavors. So if you look on my YouTube channel, you can watch my video, and I'm not sure if it's because of my video. Some people some people, I've watched videos, like some people are very simple, some people are fancy, and they all get in. I feel like I have plenty of experience. I feel like I can do anything. So this is what I'm thinking, is that they get a lot of applications and they just choose to not accept some. And so I'm going to try again. Maybe they just feel like, you know, hey, if you're really determined, we'll give it to you next time. So I have redone my written application. Like I said, mine was very, very basic. Like I didn't really embellish it at all. So, and then my video, I thought it showed energy, and I used my iPad thing on the side for a little bit of spice to it. But this time I am going to, so Laura H., my listed classes next Thursday and Friday, neither have booked. I have one about Hawaiian language. Ooh, I am just going to keep making classes until one hits. Yeah, I did my application and video all in about 30 minutes or less. Wow. Did you get in, Laura? So, yeah. So I'm just thinking that they just randomly just had so many people that they just said, this one goes, this one goes, this one goes. Because I feel like I've looked at everyone, and unless it's my written part wasn't complete enough, that my video wasn't any worse than someone else's and that kind of thing. But this time I am going to zero in on the knitting because I feel like that would be a really good summer class. So I'm going to teach a little bit about knitting. Paige's suggestion is that I have all my information in my application, so show them some of my teaching. So what I'm going to do is I have some knitting samples. So this is something that I made. This is a raccoon. This is like a raccoon scarf. So I'm going to put a raccoon scarf on. I'll put it on so it looks cute. And I have one like this that's like a fox too. I made these for the winter, and aren't they cute? So this is a raccoon, and you can go and you can get all kinds of different animals like this. Hello, I think we're having a special guest. Hello, Kelly. And we have this. I made this. This is something I made, but this is this is my original. This is what I want to teach first in the first class. I want to teach the dishcloth. But I feel like if I show them some samples, and I'll just try to do it like, you know, yeah, this video has to be 1.5 minutes. So yeah. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is try to make it more specific toward the knitting class. But I want to do a knitting class, and I want to do like for math, I want to do like using a protractor and a compass and some activities with that. So those are what I want to do.
Well, definitely, it's not a time to be humble, Cindy. You've got to tell them all the things that you can do, all your qualifications, all the classes you'll teach. I made sure to tell them I was going to have a wide variety of classes. I don't know why you didn't get it, but I'm just...
I don't either. Yeah, I'm like, seriously? And you know, the thing about it is, it's like when you get on there, there's no guarantee you get classes. So you're going to have to continue to improve on yourself and attract people. So
Yes. So I have 2 classes on there so far. I have an American Girl Tea Party. I have 4 students, almost 5, in both classes. My first class, Danny and Evelyn's kids are coming, so I'm so thankful for friends being supportive, coming to my classes.
Is that the tea party, the American Girl one?
It is. And then I had a strawberry shortcake tea party, which was a parent requested class, and I have nobody in that one. So we'll see what happens. I have 2 classes in the works. So
okay. So that's the other thing. I thought I could just cater to the younger kids, but I don't want to just do a tea party too. Like everybody's just tea parties, but maybe there's like hundreds of kids going in that want to do tea parties, you know? I don't know. I can do tea parties, but I just was trying to think of something different. But I think that knitting, I've been watching some like history of knitting videos. Did you know, oh, this was the other idea I had. Did you know that Queen Victoria was a knitter?
I did not.
This video so I was thinking of like putting that in the video. Did you know that Queen Victoria was a knitter? And she actually knitted. Knitting was like for poor people. You know, they were making projects and like, you know, so that they would have clothes, right? So the poor people were knitting, but Queen Victoria decided that she would start knitting, and it kind of became a craft for the wealthy as well as the poor people. So she kind of brought everybody together with her skill of knitting, which is really cool because the word knit is bringing together. So you're knitting, but you're also bringing a group together. And so, yeah. So
Okay. Are
I
you
just
putting
learned
that
that.
in your, is
I
that
was
for your
thinking
class
of,
video?
I was thinking of putting like that in my video about, because it says there, teach us something, so I know it has to be short, but I'm going to try and put it something together really quick to share, like, did you know that Queen Victoria, was a knitter, and she actually knitted a scarf for one of the other, I can't remember who it was, but one of the other higher ups in the monarchy or whatever, as a gift, knitted a scarf. And that kind of started, people thinking, I mean, isn't that, can you imagine? And I guess the scarf is in a museum somewhere. Can you imagine getting a scarf knitted by Queen Victoria?
No.
But this is what
Yeah.
the kids can do too, is they can make, they can make a dishcloth and give this to their grandmother or a relative or a friend at church or something like that. Somebody in need.
Yeah.
This is a dishcloth that you can wash dishes with, but like my grandmother used to use it as a decoration because
Yeah.
she
I've
just
seen them.
loved, that the kids made these, and we would give her
Yeah.
tons of them, and she'd put them all over her shelves with all of her little knickknacks on it. So
Grandmas are always
I think it's
proud.
going to be a great class. Knitting is
Yeah,
amazing. There's so much you can
it
do with
will.
it.
Yeah,
So
if you could teach I hear the crafty classes are doing well.
yeah, because they
So
want
my,
to do like summer camps.
yeah, my mom taught me to knit when I was younger. Here, she taught my daughter too, and she never finished. So now this is my prop for the hobbies lesson.
Oh, good. What is it? Is it
Yeah,
a blanket or?
it's not really anything. She never really finished it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't have the patience for knitting. I remember learning when I was like really young. See, for me, my personality, I need to see quicker results. Knitting is really, really
Yeah,
slow.
it is. That's why this is
Yeah,
a good craft. And like my kids
yeah.
were the same way. They didn't want to make these really. So like we were going on a long trip, say I was going to go visit a friend. So I would start a couple of these in the car. Of course, I have a ton of kids. So in the van, 15 passenger van. So we would pass it around. And by the time we got to the place we were going, the dishcloth was done.
Oh,
So we did certain things like that. But yeah, it teaches you a lot of character qualities like perseverance, and one by one, like everything you do in life is like incremental, and that there's
yeah,
a lot of good lessons to learn in there. um
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Knitting definitely one that is a slow process.
It's a
Yeah,
slow
my
process.
daughter. Oh, cute, Cindy. I love that. And
i'm
Maria.
just i'm
Yeah.
just playing around with this thing. I just love it.
Make sure you tell them all the classes you want to teach, if not in the video, because like you want to teach a lot more than just knitting. Make sure they know
Right,
that you can
right.
offer a lot of different things.
Right.
So
And that's what
yeah,
I need to do, is make a list maybe. I just don't, in some ways they say tell them everything you can teach, and then other times I hear zero in on one thing, and then when you get in you can teach whatever you want, kind of thing.
I don't know. I told them everything I was planning to teach.
Yeah. I watched
So
your video a couple times.
okay. I don't even think it was the best video. I literally just wanted to get it off. I wanted to
Well,
just
you
get
did,
it.
like, I was in TV and I could, like, really. Yeah. You have a lot of good skills.
Okay. I'm working on, well, I don't want to say too much. I'm working on an election course, but my course is going to be very, very different from the other ones I've seen on Outschool. So I don't want to
Oh,
say too much
good.
till it's up and running, but
Oh,
yeah,
good. Good for you.
yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I've
yeah.
seen a lot of great lot of great classes on there. I saw one guy, he's only been with it for 2 weeks and he's already taught 100 students. He is
Wow.
doing survival skills.
Hmm.
Urban and what did he say? Urban. It sounds like, just
And
ways
rural.
survive in everyday life or when bad things happen. It sounds like a really great thing. He said it's his passion. He was going to teach math, and then he went to that, and he's gotten like blown up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we need that right now. People are interested in that. We don't know. Things are going crazy in the world. That is definitely a class that's needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is not overstated.
Yeah.
Things are crazy. We have like where I live right now, there are no cars going by. It can be a busy road, but most of the time it's not busy. But last night during classes, I kept hearing cars and cars and cars and cars and cars. It was crazy. I'm like, I hope somebody's, there were things going on. There's supposed to be this weekend. There's like protests everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's protests near me. Actually came really close to me a few nights ago. Yeah. So it's kind of scary.
Yeah. And I just really, I just want to cry when I realize them defacing historical monuments and stuff.
Yeah.
There's just no excuse for that. Like, if you really think it's unconstitutional to have that statue up, you need to go through the right channels. You don't just ruin history, And
are you talking about Virginia?
Virginia, and then spray painting stuff, and all over the world, all over the country.
Well,
but yeah, Virginia, especially.
If people want to worry about racist things, the governor of Virginia wore blackface, so there's that. Maybe you should be worried about that instead of destroying statues. Yeah. I heard a rumor that they are going to destroy Williamsburg, and that would be horrible if that happened. Yeah, that's one of the most
I heard that they were closing it down as a vacation spot. As a vacation spot, because it's a really nice place. Like, years ago, I went when I had 10 kids. There was a group online called Mothers of Many Young Siblings, and I qualified. And they had a special deal to go to Williamsburg, and we drove the whole family down, and we had a special price, and we went through the whole Williamsburg thing. My kids, my family, that's like their favorite vacation looking back. And they loved it because of the history, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But there were no roller coasters and no spinny rides or anything like that. No wild music. It was just history, and my family loved it. They all loved it.
Yeah, so they get in character. Yeah, I hope they don't do that, because that would be you can't replace that. You can't go back. You rebuild it. It's not the same. These are buildings from the 1700s. Yeah, you can't replace that.
I live outside Richmond. I think it would be best to relocate monuments in a place to provide context and history. Petersburg Civil War Museum would be a good place for the statues.
Gwen went to William and Mary. Okay, which is the second oldest college in America.
Really?
First being in Boston. Yeah.
Well, Boston is ruining itself right now, because they're totally shut down because of the virus, and who knows what's going on there. It's just, but Boston is where my family likes to go. They also have a really good, like, the midnight ride of Paul Revere and all that stuff. They have like trails, and they have like plaques everywhere. And it's just so sad that people don't realize we have the best country in the whole world. And maybe we do have problems, but you don't solve them by ruining what we do have, You're ruining the good stuff, and then you're going to be left with nothing.
Right. So, yeah, I see protesting what happened, but you don't solve that by destroying people's homes and businesses.
Right. And innocent people have died because of this. Even the police, I know. I don't know what the percentage is, but I don't know. I have to believe the percentage is a lot higher that there's good policemen than bad. So you're
Yeah.
destroying good people while you're trying, and they're not doing this with any kind of intelligence. It's just wild and crazy nutso.
Yeah. My husband told me a story about some people that were holding up signs, defund the police, and like anti-police signs. And then someone came out and started verbally attacking them. And they're like, call 911. Wait a second. You just not want the police?
Who do you think?
Yeah.
This is how like my poor
Yeah.
daughter, she's like a student. She's really smart. She's trying to figure this all out. And I'm like, they're not thinking. They're not thinking like you. They're not thinking. They're just reacting.
Yeah.
They're following. They have no idea the destruction. It's like they're jumping off a cliff and they're all going together and they're just jumping. They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're just bringing us all with them. And that's just so sad.
It's irrational. Yeah. There's
It's
like
just so
no.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never good to be out of control. That's why I put pictures of flowers and I'm like, our creation has order. We know the sun comes up in the morning, the sun goes down at night. There's order. We rely on that order. And when you take away order and you have chaos, you're not going to get anything better out of it. And that's why the original founders have the documents that they have, so that we have a foundation, a basis of order. And if we don't have that, we will have nothing. We will have nothing, because even rich people can be bad. I mean, we know that from history. So just because you have money doesn't make you a good person. So
yeah, there's good and bad everywhere. Rich, poor.
So a
Police,
rich
not police,
person could control us in a bad way. So keep that in mind. Just because they give you money today doesn't mean they're going to give you money tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's a very sad situation. So hello, Luann. Yeah. So I love Boston too. Although I don't really like to go to Boston because it's just too crowded, and I just don't really enjoy the inner city, really. Personally, I don't really enjoy it, but I do like to go to the historical parts. But
yeah. Have you been to the historical parts of Boston then?
yeah, like my husband grew up outside of Boston, so he went, like, he's done they call it the Freedom Trail, and they go through and they kind of recreate the midnight ride of Paul Revere and that kind of stuff. And it is really cool. My husband's mother lived outside of Boston, kind of on what they call Beacon Hill. Her mother actually was a maid for some wealthy people there. And she was from Norway. Well, her mother was from Norway. So, so she kind of grew up playing in Boston. So we know the area really well. But where I live, I'm about an hour from Boston, and it's very quiet and country-ish.
Yeah, same. I'm an hour from a major city. It's sort of country-ish, or right where I live, it is. But yeah. So yeah. Let's see what they're saying in the chat.
Yeah. So I just wanted to also mention that I'm going to be doing an interview on, if I can find my phone now, I kind of turned everything upside down. I'm going to be doing an interview on Tuesday. And this is going to be an interesting interview. It's going to be I don't know what you call it. It's going to be an offshoot of my last interview. My friend that has adopted children, and her son is from Haiti.
Okay.
So, and he's 17 years old. And she actually approached me. She's like, how about if you interview my son? He's dark skinned and he can, share his thoughts on all of this stuff going on. So he's a sophomore at Grace Abounding Farm. That's her home school. He wants to go into the Air Force, and he loves basketball, drawing, family. He was born in Haiti. He's been in the Winslow family since he was 2. He became a U.S. citizen in November of 2019. So I remember when she went to go get she got 2 kids when she got him. The older one she had chosen, and then I can't remember the story of how they got John as well. So she went to Haiti to get 1 kid and came back with 2. That's the kind of person she is. And when she went out to Haiti, they have to stay like in the country for a little while before you can just bring the kid back. So she was planning on staying, but then they had like a coup. And so she had to stay in the hotel with these kids that did not know any English until the coup was over, and here she was in a foreign country with lots of bad stuff going on. So, so that'll be an interesting interview. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about his life. And, he's now in New Hampshire. We do not have a lot of dark skinned people. So I don't consider myself as prejudiced, because if we meet somebody with dark skin, we're kind of interested in their story. Like, tell us more about yourself. We have people from Haiti, from all different places. Plus, we have people that were adopted into families like John was. And we have a lot of families that are interracial, where you might have one is white, one is black, and that kind of thing. So I have friends like that. So I honestly don't feel like I am a racist in any way, because I don't live in that, environment where there's groups of people, but I'm not that color. So I don't know how other people might perceive,
Right. Where I live, there's everything. We have pretty diverse here. Yeah. So, well, that sounds like an interesting interview. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but the little bit that I watched seemed really interesting. Like, what a story she has of adopting all those kids. That's an incredible story.
Yeah,
I want to watch the whole thing.
She's an amazing person. She is very unique. What she does is a life not everyone could do. Like, she has done some pretty amazing stuff. She also has, like, in the interview, she talks about she's not wealthy. So there have been some times where she's had to do fundraisers to raise enough money to be able to adopt, or to raise money for a trip or something like that. So it's definitely like a ministry as well as a family choice. And so it'll be interesting to see how he, what he says about it.
Right. And he has an interesting perspective as someone that didn't grow up here, but came here when he was 17. Or no, he's 17 now?
He was 2 when he came. He's 2 when he came. So he doesn't really know any different. Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't really know any different, but he is dark skinned. So he grew up in a family with all white, but his sister is black. And then her, let me think. I think that's it. Just he and his sister from Haiti. And then she has other kids from Bulgaria. So they're a little bit darker skinned, but not, you wouldn't know that you wouldn't call them black necessarily. So, yeah. So I was going to say something else about that, but his sister is probably more like sensitive to knowing I'm black and you're white kind of thing. But, she's older. She lives out on her own now, and she is married, and she has 2 twins. So, yeah. And my friend, she keeps in touch with other people that have adopted kids from Haiti. So they kind of, like, it's not like they come here and they have no interaction with anybody else who has dark skin, She is really good about making sure they get their needs met emotionally as well as, physically, and they talk about things and stuff, and they have meetups with other adoptive parents, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's good. So someone
Yeah.
else that knows what they're going through. Yeah.
Yeah. And what their perspective is, you know, and I honestly, I really don't believe that this whole thing is about racism. That's my opinion. I believe it's a smokescreen for other political things that are happening. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to like totally expose my opinion, but I would encourage people to research and look into things. And people say,
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, that sounds like a sci-fi movie. It does sound like a sci-fi movie when you realize that we are shut down. We can, like, summer is closed. No public,
Yeah.
you know, pools, no, there's a lot of things. Now they are starting to open up things, which is good, but there are decisions
Yeah.
being made in the the Capitol buildings at this time that have nothing to do with racism, but they will change our lives. So,
Yeah, I mean, if it was, you're right, if it was only about racism, then they wouldn't be destroying the businesses of other African American small businesses, you
yeah.
know? So, yeah, it's definitely more
And
than that.
hurting other black people. Like they're not
Yes.
just hurting people, they're hurting black people and they're hurting themselves. And the brother of the guy who died even said, "Stop it."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
And they're
it's
not.
not about that. It's a
Mhm.
smokescreen. So, I just want to tell everybody I know to just keep researching and be informed and don't be too scared to find out the truth because it's not.
Yeah. And this day and age, you can find stuff easily. You know, you can go to the internet, you have many different sources. So,
And
yeah.
do be careful because they can make up news. They can, like you might look up one thing that says this person's this, and this. You look up another source and they say the opposite. So then you
Yeah.
have to research the source, research the quote, go back to what did this person actually say? What did this person actually, do themselves? So that's
Right.
important too.
Right. But at least you're not dependent on like one or maybe three newscasters telling you all the news and that's all you get. Like nowadays, you can go to many different sources. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I've
Yeah.
been trying to tell people. And two, this is a good lesson for us. Don't just listen to what you hear on the top. Keep digging
Mhm.
for the truth. I'm near Minneapolis and the city is super sensitive. Oh,
Oh, yeah. 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 Well, Cindy, I'm going to get off. I'm going to let you finish
yeah.
your live. I need to go do my feedback. So
Okay. Yeah.
thanks for
Thank
letting me
you.
on. It
Thank
was fun.
you.
All
All
right.
right. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye. All right. So I'm probably going to go ahead and go in a few minutes as well. Luann, there's more to the story. Yeah. And I think that these days there can be more to the story because there's more money, there's more desire for power, more ability for power, and I just hope everybody just doesn't follow along, but that we just all research for the truth and be willing to stand for the truth and for what's right when the time comes. So, all right. So anyway, that's going to be my interview on Tuesday. And I will also keep you guys posted as to my outschool. Luann, did you apply for outschool? I don't remember if you said that you applied for outschool or not. And Gwen says she has friends that adopted from Haiti and a friend's daughter married a man from Haiti. Yeah. So, well, when I was younger and in Bible teaching places, they did have a standard kind of thing that they didn't want to, if you grew up in religious world kind of thing, they would kind of say what standards are. And one of the standards was that it's not good for a black person and a white person to marry. And so they would call that interracial dating. So I think the last generation, we've kind of realized that that wasn't really a good standard. And so I think that at one point we thought it was actually not biblical to marry white and a black person, but really the Bible doesn't say anything about color as far as that goes. And so my husband and I realized that from the Bible, it's just about us just, yeah. Okay, can you hear me? All right, sorry. A little bit of an interruption. Okay, so did you get in, Luann? So I just mentioned earlier that I did apply, but I did not get in. So I will be making a new video and I will keep everybody posted. My video is on YouTube. I figure, it's okay. Like at first I was embarrassed and then I'm like, it is what it is. And there are a lot of people on the Facebook group for outschool people that, they weren't accepted, and so I'm not the only one. So I don't know if they just randomly didn't accept me, or if I read the note earlier of the email that they sent me, and it didn't really give anything specific as to why they didn't accept me. So I'm going to redo my application, I'm going to redo my video, and I going to work a little closer with Paige this time. I kind of did it on my own, just kind of like put it in. I thought, oh yeah, I'll be fine. But I don't really want to get another rejection, but they didn't say I couldn't reapply. So why not? Why not just keep it going? And honestly, I have plenty of bookings with VIPKID. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But I just really would like to try to get in to teach a couple classes without school. I would like to do knitting. Oh, they never give details. I would like to do a knitting class, and I would really like to do a measuring class for like using your ruler, using your protractor and your compass. And there's a lot of fun things you can do with your compass to like bisect angles. You can draw angles, bisect lines, and all that kind of stuff. So I would really like to do that, like beginning drafting skills kind of thing. And so those are two really fun ideas that I have that I think that kids would like. So I think that those would go well if I get in. So I'm going to try to redo my video and make it a little better and a little more different anyway. A bisect. What is that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and go because I do have things I have to do this morning. I am going to a like drive-by graduation thing. And so they're going to put the graduation ceremony on Facebook, and then we're going to just kind of like, I guess, wave from our cars, happy graduation. So I am going to be on my way to do that. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. If you have not liked and subscribed, then do so. And also stay tuned for Tuesday for my interview, and I think it'll be a fun time. And if you can't watch it, obviously you can watch the playback. And you can also make sure you are tuned into the VIPKID iPad users group where we share everything iPad. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time.